Okay, welcome to this lesson on decoding. So now what we've done is we've just picked the lock and we've got it in the open position. So obviously you don't want it there, you don't want it up there, you want it as far as to the open position as it will go. And then you want to have a pen and paper ready, as you'll need to write down these decoding information. Now sometimes if you haven't got a pen and paper to hand, you can just use a mobile phone, which I normally do. Just write it in a notes section. But let's get right into it. So it's very simple. So all we're doing, so we know that it's 2 down, 2 up, etc. So what we're doing is we start with 1. So we're on chamber 1 here, and we push this marker down. Okay. Now what we're doing is we are, just like a chart, we've got 1 here, and then wherever this pointer stops, where the furthest it will go down, whichever line it sits on, that's what number it is. So in this case you can see if I push down, that's in line with this 5 here. So what we do on our pen and paper, I know you might not be able to see that because of the blur, but we put 1 equals 5. So in other words, chamber 1 is depth 5. Okay, so now we go to 2, push it down as far as it will go. By the way, you don't want to be forcing this down like it's really hard. You want to just put it down to as far as it will go, but that without bending the pick, you know. So in this case it's a 3. As you can see there, it lines up exactly on that 3 if we go along. Sorry for the shaking, but I've got the camera on like one of those mounts and it's wobbling around with the table. Hopefully you can still see this. So 2, what do we say? So 2 is a 2's a 3, so we write that down on our pad. 2 equals 3. Now 3 is up, so we get this right in the line with that and push up. That's clearly a 1 because it's even going past 1, so it can't be anything else. So 3 equals 1. Now 4. We go as far as up as it will go, and I'm looking through the camera lens on that, so I'm going to make sure it's right. So I believe that's a 3. It's right in line with the 3 there. So 4 is a 3. 4 equals 3. And then we move on to 5, which is obviously down. If you're getting confused that there's numbers up and down, that's just because you can pick it either way. So it needs to have those numbers both sides. So 5 is clear, that's clearly a 4. 5 is 4. Sometimes you might get it so it's in the middle. So let's say if I push that down and it was bang in the middle, it might just be because either the disc is worn inside or there's a piece of dirt in there. So you can put like a 4/3, 4/5 for example, and then try and cut on the on the highest depth. If that doesn't work, then shave some off. But remember, you can always shave some off, but you can't add some on. So I always attempt to cut with the highest. So 6 looks like a 3 to me. 6 is a 3. Let's go to 7. 7 is a 4. As you can see, it's lining up along there to 4. So 7 equals 4. And you'll be doing this a lot quicker in real time as well. I'm just obviously demonstrating it for the first time. So 8 is also a 4. So we got 7 is a 4, 8 is a 4, 2 more left. So we go to 9. So 9 is clearly a 2. Okay. So if I go down on to there on 9, you can't see because of the pointer, but obviously it's 1 above 1, so it's going to be the 2 there. So 9 equals 2. And then finally 10 is also a 2. 10 equals 2. Now if you wanted to be sure, because remember this is going to cost you a key if you're wrong, so you don't want to go ahead and cut this straight away, because it's going to cost you money if it's wrong. You're going to waste a blank key, especially if you're cutting this onto an expensive remote. You don't want to be cutting into the remote and it's wrong. One tip is you can always try and cut it on a cheap blank key first, make sure it works, and then cut onto the remote. But another tip is to go over it again. Like so now I would go over all those numbers again and confirm them in case I've made a mistake, or in case it wasn't quite right the first time. Just double, as they say in carpentry, measure twice, cut once. It's the same with this, measure twice and then you only have to cut once. You don't want to be wasting blanks because it's taking profit out of the job. So that's it, that's how you decode. And then if I'm going to release that now, if I show you just there, just so you know, it's very, I'll take the pick out, sorry for the shaking. Oh, seems to be stuck. So just as you can see, it's very simple. These are all the chambers, so we've got 1 through to 10, and these are all the depths like that. So now our decoding information would literally, when you go to cut your key, it will be right, which depth is chamber 1, you would select 5 and so on, and then you would just press cut on the machine and that will cut your key blank for you, and then you will be able to open the vehicle, program the key to it, and that's a really good earner. So as you can see, for this short course I'm not going into all of the key programming and everything, but in the next lesson I'm going to show you how you can learn more and you can really get this business started up as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, see you in the next lesson.